He's a little smitten with her. You can tell it's very obvious, but I don't know. I've never talked to him about it.
With your book, when your ex-wife, one thing that really comes across, even from when you're telling the story about when you first met, you clearly in love with her. When you tell that story about how you met at the gym the first time you spoke, and taking off her shoe, and how nervous you both were, and all that. I mean, that comes across. So has that book helped your relationship with her, or has it sort of hindered it?
No, I think it's helped it a lot, actually. And we've talked about it. I actually gave her the first rough draft of it so she could read over it. And I didn't want her to be unhappy with anything I wrote. She actually said she learned a lot about me. A lot of times we were so mad at each other we just didn't even bother to speak about anything. And she said that she learned a lot about what I was going through on the road, and she just had no idea because she was just always so mad at me, so never took the time to talk to me about it.
If she said to you, we could make it work, but you'd have to give up wrestling because I can't trust you on the road, or because I don't want you out all the time, could you give up wrestling for her?
No. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, I just right now I just can't. I mean, it was my last shot in life, and I couldn't forgive her if she asked me to walk away, and she never has asked me to walk away. But a lot of people are relying on me to be able to do this. My children, my mom. I need to do this. I mean, it's something I have to do as a man. I couldn't live for myself because it really was just my last shot in life.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, you entered the business late, but I mean, you've had
very late, and I don't have an education to fall back on. It's really it's one of those things. It was a do or die situation. And I won't be able to stop this until I know that my children will be set for life and until their education will be paid for.
And also, there must be things you still want to achieve. There must be guys you still want to fight. Be a 16-time world champion one day.
No.
That means you've lost it 15 times.
I don't have those goals.
Right.
I don't care to be 16-time world champion, and I won't hang around, longer than I'm welcome. I think as long as my body can hold out and people will still want to see me, I'll try to hang around, but I won't overstay my welcome.
That promo you did when you came out on Raw after you'd injured yourself and you had to forfeit the title, that was a really heartfelt speech that you did. You stood behind the curtain, you come out. Is it that one of the most horrible things you've had to do?
Yeah, it is. And I think, because I don't think any pro wrestler wants to go out that way. Nobody wants to surrender the title and everything, It's a very prideful thing that we do. I mean, take my match at WrestleMania, the way I lost the title, that's how everybody wants to lose the title. Have a match of your career, go out on your back.
And what's the feeling like when you're going to lose it? You're going to lose it. Did you feel downbeat during the match, or is it?
Not at all. No, not at all. Like with the Undertaker match at WrestleMania, I was thrilled about it. I didn't care because I knew we were going to have a hell of a match. We were going to tear it down, and there were going to be elements in that match that, things that nobody had ever seen before. One, he was kicking out of my finish, and two, it was a title that Undertaker had never held. But say if, for instance, my match at SummerSlam where I did not regain the title against Khali, I was not very happy. Because for one, I didn't think he deserved it.
Yeah.
And I felt, well, you gotta be careful with what I say here.
No, you've got to be careful. But I think everybody knows exactly what you're. I don't think anybody's got an opinion.
I just don't think he was deserving to hold that title. It really kind of, I don't want to say it made me sick to my stomach to see a title in his hands, but yeah, it really did make me sick to my stomach.
I mean, that's how a lot of wrestling fans felt as well, because it felt like his in-ring just wasn't there, and he hadn't had the big push. He didn't seem like he paid his dues.
I just don't. I don't think he wasn't champion material. He wasn't championship material.
I mean, the matches you had with him and the matches Cena had with him are probably the best matches he's had.
Yeah, because it's not easy to have a good match with Khali, because he's very limited, and also just doesn't make for the most exciting matches. You got to be real careful.
What's it like when the old guys come back? I mean, it's very different at WrestleMania, but next week they're really going big on the fact that Hogan, Foley, Austin, Bischoff are back. How does it make the guys feel that are on top right now?
I'm very indifferent about it. I love seeing Stone Cold. I don't really have any type of relationship with Hogan. Don't know him very well. Never really sat down and had a conversation with him. Mick Foley, he's a pleasant fellow.
Always hanging around if you near Melina.
I don't know what that's about. I'm not a jealous type, though. I don't. Especially not going to get jealous over Mick Foley. But Stone Cold, I love seeing him. Every time he comes to the show, it's just kind of a good buzz in the air, and everybody loves seeing him. He really changed our business, so it's always good to have him around. He always rubs off on the guys in some way, shape, or form.
Ric Flair Hall of Fame this year, that looks to be happening. I love the story that started last week on Raw with Flair.
Right.
In your opinion, is it time for Rick to move on?
No, I was actually, this is what really sucks, is he was brought to SmackDown, which I was thrilled to death about. And then, they took him off TV. And they never really explained why. It just, we had all these ideas for storylines and programs, and possibly even going into Mania with Rick, and it's just, I don't know.
Then he turns up on Raw.
And they let him sit at home, and then he turns up back on Raw. I just don't get it.
Is that an issue on SmackDown with people when they return? People have been on SmackDown, Rock, Hogan. They always turn up back on Raw.
Right. It irks me a little.
Yeah.
But it is. I mean, I'm aware that it's our flagship show, and but I mean, maybe I'm prideful saying that, but I feel like we've got better storylines, and I think we've got better programs going on.
Tell us a little bit about OVW, because I was dead interested to read all about that. And if you look at the list of names that have come through there at that particular time, it's immense. All the big stars.
It was really at that particular time, first class of OVW. I mean,
you've not had that since.
No.
There seems to be a bit of trouble down there. There doesn't seem to be as many big good
I don't even know what's going on down there now, honestly. But when I was there, there's a lot of talent there. I had a rough go on OVW just because, my character. The character I did, I just didn't learn all that much.
But you were the monster heel, and that's what Jim Cornette would have loved.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I was supposed to be a monster heel with the same thing. I was just I never did anything really heelish. I was just an ass kicker, and so fans started seeing me as a babyface.
Keep the matches short, and then
they were very short.
Yeah, very short. Well,
that was one of the things, and I knew, on one hand, Jim Cornette was trying to protect me. At the same time, it kind of hindered. It didn't really get me ready for a WWE thing.
If you watch those matches right now, we put a DVD on. You watch those matches right now. How do you feel? What's your facial expressions like? Is it like, oh, these are so awful? Are you proud of that stuff, or is it something that you think, oh, I don't want to see these on the best of DVD?
Well, no, because I can't just ignore that ever happened. It was a lot of people still love that character. I actually have a very close friend who's a movie director and producer in LA, and he's obsessed with the character. Yeah, he's still obsessed to this day. So no, I'm not ashamed of that stuff. I'm proud of it. Everybody starts somewhere.
Would you ever do it for one night only back in
OVW? Man, I'd shave it off and put the contacts in. And, the funny thing is, when I left OVW last night, I did that character. Somebody stole my contacts. They disappeared out of my bag. I was a little bit upset about that.
See them on eBay one day.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, because the problem with preparing you is even Goldberg didn't get to be Goldberg in WWE. Brock Lesnar didn't get to do that in WWE. So they must have known when you got called up, you're going to have to sell for guys, and you're going to have to have matches.
Yeah.
If you'd have come in straight away at the top, like your Bobby or your Brock or whatever, you've had to come in pretty much at the bottom, being Devon's bitch, as you say in the book.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is it better to come in and actually learn, or is it straight in there at the top, like say Brock and Bobby?
It really depends. For me, it was at the time I didn't think so. I didn't understand. Now, in retrospect, I really do understand, and they did the right thing with me. And with all the steps, with going through Devon, with putting me with Rick and Hunter, I was very fortunate.
Who do you turn to for advice now? If you've got an idea you want to run past someone, or you're not sure how your match went, is it Take or is it Triple H, or do you give Devon a call?
If I have an idea I want to pitch, I usually either go to Michael Hayes, who's the head writer on SmackDown, or I'll pitch it straight to Vince.
Cool. Yeah. What's things like when you pitch an idea?
It's like me coming in and saying, hey, what do you think about this? He's just like a regular guy, He's not I don't know, he's just a regular guy.
You're not scared of him?
No, not at all.
People, new guys must be, when you first come in and you get...
Oh, everybody is terrified, but I think, Vince is real big on it. He wants you to be comfortable with him. He wants you to call him on the phone if you got something going on, even something personal to talk about. He's really just a regular guy. I mean, he can be quite intimidating. He's very intimidating, especially when he's pissed at you. But at the same time, he's just, he doesn't make you feel like he's your boss. It makes you feel like he's one of the boys, and he would never ask you to do anything he wouldn't do.